Yeah, baby. Pressure's on. When it's on, it's on. Listen, listen, listen. Um, things get out of hand. Things get out of hand. I'm only doing what's right. All right? Other people don't see it that way. People think it's about hits and views. I could talk about anything else in the world. This is bigger than that. Don't believe the smoke. Listen to the facts. Because all we doing is giving you a history lesson. Don't forget to like the video. If you're listening to this at a later date, there's a super thanks button that you can hit and support the page. And we can see it in the comment section. Thanks for everyone else who already supported and did everything in the banner. Our Cash App is Carcino. And let's move forward. Now, we've been exposing all the lies that have been told. Now, Djvlad says he does not discuss open cases. He don't do open cases. He only talks about cases that are closed. We proved that to be a lie. And in case people don't realize it and think that no, that's not true, so you're making it all up. Let's go back to this guy actually justifying and actually playing judge, jury, and executioner in an open case. And one of the most unethical things he's probably ever has done. How many of you guys remember Bankroll Fresh? Rest in peace. Now, his former friend, No Plug, and 21 Savage. We all know 21, right? Well, No Plug and 21 Savage had a falling out with Bankroll Fresh. Bankroll and No Plug got into a fist fight in the studio, which led to gunfire and Bankroll not being here anymore. It's an open investigation, which means it hasn't been closed. And Djvlad decides to do an interview with No Plug, detailing his side of the Bankroll Fresh murder, as this case is still open. Mister, I only discuss cases that are closed. He said that at the Breakfast Club. He only do closed cases. He doesn't do open cases. But this case, okay, let's listen. Listen to it.
No Plug got in front of my camera, signed a release form, and laid out the details of Bankroll Fresh getting killed that night. Why on earth would he do that if it was not self-defense? Right? Think about that.
And he had already had his case dismissed?
No statute. Well, the case was still technically being investigated. It wasn't closed at that point. So, Bankroll Fresh getting killed that night. Why on earth would he do that if it was not self-defense? Right? Think about that.
And he had already had his case dismissed?
No statute. Well, the case was still technically being investigated. It wasn't closed at that point. So, explain to me why a person would talk about an open murder, something with no statute of limitations that happened within a couple of months, if it was not self-defense.
Right.
Just think about that for a second. With cameras
right.
in the studio and so forth, because they released footage of this shit. And a bunch of witnesses. An open case. It was not self-defense. But I'm the bad guy for doing the interview.
You're the bad guy for doing the interview because you want to play the victim. You were asked clearly, was this case open? And yes, it's an open investigation. And when you interview one side of the person, right? Did you contact a Bankroll Fresh family to have someone else tell their side of the story? Did they get a fair shot? It wasn't like you were unfamiliar. You made a decision to roll in that fashion. Now, when this was done, the family was very angry. Bankroll Fresh family was very angry about this because they're listening to this and they might know a lot more about this situation than Djvlad. You invited No Plug. Did No Plug say, I want to go to Djvlad and tell my story? Or did you reach out to No Plug? So Fresh's uncle, Marvin Shahidi, sent you a letter calling you a culture vulture and your lacking of journalistic integrity. He said, Dear Vlad, you disrespectful culture vulture. I offered you to talk to my family, Bankroll's Fresh family, when my nephew was first killed. Did you call us or reach out to Street Money Worldwide family or his father and mother to get a rebuttal to No Plug's story? None of that. When I asked you to interview Bankroll PJ and how he was continuing the legacy, you had a subordinate call to tell me you're passing on PJ. He had just released a new single out and he's starring in a new FX TV show, Atlanta, this fall with Childish Gambino. But no, that was too positive, huh? Not enough black on black crime. But you get his coward a forum and put his hating coon put this hating coon on your platform. Like it was some light humored story. Sitting there smiling and talking about how he loved my family. Where was the remorse with all of that chuckling? And then the story he was telling was straight BS with more holes in it than the police reasons for killing Alton Sterling. You're a poor excuse for a journalist, if we can even call you one. And while the whole black community were coming together to protest cops killing black men, you dropped this one-sided interview of an open investigation for an unsolved murder of Bankroll Fresh. Was that strategic, Vlad? You wanted to show more black on black violence on the same day. All you do is take from our community. My nephew is dead, and you're having a light-humored conversation with an alleged killer. Like it's just another interview with Tax Stone and Charlemagne. What's funny? This it ain't funny. Even as a responsible journalist or a leader of an urban news as you claim, you should have the rebuttal interview with our family and or people who was there. Then you let them talk without confirming anything beforehand. Did you talk to the DA's office or the APD homicide? Even if no charges was brought, it doesn't explain the real truth on why he was at the studio in the first place. It's only his side of the story. Where's the other sides? Where's the truth? No other man or another color or race should have that much power over the narrative of what happens in black communities. Our stories, our lives, and even our music, and don't even give back at all. And then you get slick every now and then and subliminally try to drop other vultures like Slim Jesus and our psych to see if you can get away with it. You're really a photographer that found a better hustle, pimping black culture. I know you. I work for you. You don't give back to our community. How much of that 50K a month do you donate to the black community? Ad agencies use your site to pimp everything from fried chicken to Coca-Cola, and you pay you very well for it. Words from your own mouth. Caviero, the Don Diva from Don Diva, warned me about you back then. Eben Gregory from EbenGregory.com warned me about you. Said you're worse than Harvey Levin over at TMZ. But most of you cats who make money from black people stick together. Y'all always try to get money out the hood one way or another. Corner store or rap level. Covering urban culture and making black movies for black people. But you don't give a damn about us. You're worse than the police because you're killing us slowly with the crap you feed our youth every day. Just so you can get traffic and views, because that's the new guns and butter. Advertising dollars for unique visitors. You think we're stupid. Since the hip hop nation co-signed you and every other idiot who want to be seen or want to remain relevant jumps in front of your camera on some step and fletching, it takes us back 50 years in morals and principle. The internet ain't killing my people. You are with your Vlad TV. You're irresponsible and you will be checked for it. When the community presents itself, your end is near. So, are you finished or are you done? You're trying to destroy my nephew's legacy and someone took his life. I'll see you when I see you, clown. Let's have some tea or break bread or something. But you will put some respect on Bankroll Fresh's name. That's a promise. Stay tuned for the real exclusive Bankroll Fresh news on Revolt, All Hip Hop, and World Star Hip Hop, amongst others. From my brothers and Bankroll's father and COO K Rich, Street Money, Bucci, and Quick Trip from Street Money Worldwide, shame on you, thief. There's three sides to a story. There's ours and the truth. You should have done your job, crook. I'm still Nat Turner to you. And that's the uncle. That's his letter that he sent to Djvlad. Now, Uncle Martin, sent that over. And once again, Vlad, who claimed he don't talk about open cases, did just that. So he's a liar. Because the case was open, and he tries to justify it by saying it's self-defense. How can you do that? You are not the judge, jury, and executioner. You can't say it's self-defense. You weren't even effing there. You don't know who shot who. You don't know who shot what first. That's a one other person's story. If the case is still not determined, why the hell are you doing interviews and putting them out? Who told you that's the facts? You knew nothing at the time. You didn't care to know nothing. But you never want to talk to black people who are doing anything positive in the community. You sent a subordinate, like he said, to shut them down. You think you're better than somebody because of what your channel is supposed to be, I guess. Is that it? I don't really understand your psychosis. So for me, when I look at the situation such as this, it's reckless journalism. And when you're a reckless individual who would do anything in a matter where you have no morals, but you cool with 21 Savage because 21 Savage is a popular rapper and No Plug is his homeboy and it's cool with him and they had problems with Bankroll. Now you basically then picked a side in the situation when you're supposed to be the journalist. But you're going along with who's popular. Another thing you claim not to be a part of. So all this proves, Vlad, is that you are a liar. A bold-faced liar who steals from the community and mislead and only push narratives that are negative for hits and views. So we're supposed to be ecstatic for your success when you give nothing back and have nothing but negativity in every single interview that you do. That's something we're supposed to be proud of. That's quite interesting. I never saw it as that, but hey, that's quite interesting.
Good example of this, but yeah, like the popularity of the person will somehow eclipse the actual facts of the case. But the reality is, No Plug got in front of my camera, signed a release form, and laid out the details of Bankroll Fresh getting killed that night. Why on earth would he do that if it was not self-defense? Right? Think about that.
Why would he do that if it's not self-defense? He did that because he wants to use your platform for his defense. He's spreading the word to all of the people that are watching the show. I'm an innocent man. What other person wouldn't do that? What are you supposed to do? Go on your platform and say how he did it? Everybody's going to have the story that makes them look like the hero. Vlad thinks everyone is stupid because he signed a release form and came on your platform and decided to do that. He's innocent? Are you effing stupid? Now, I said it again. Please hit the like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the page or follow everything in the banner. But I've said this quite so many times before, because it must be said, though it hurts to say. These type of agendas, practices, and so forth is typical from people with no morals and lack of any journalistic integrity, and you don't care for people. Whatsoever. I've seen these guys come and go countless times. They just come and go. And the reason that they come and go is because their lack of integrity. Their lack of integrity makes it to the point where that's it. I can't really deal with people like that. This is the same reason why Joe Budden said the things that he said. You understand what?
And he had already had his case
No,
dismissed.
no statute. Well, the case was still technically being investigated. It wasn't closed at that point. So explain to me why a person would talk about an open murder, something with no statute of limitations that happened within a couple of months, if it was not self-defense.
Right.
Because he wants it to be.
With camera.
Now let's listen to Joe give a very accurate breakdown.
And in this interview, you've admitted to all the reasons in which I don't fuck with you. It's not that there's a beef still. There's not a beef. As you said, I'm 40, you 44. I'm rich, you rich. There's nothing to really fight about. But there's some character issues that I've sensed in you from very early on. And for me, when I sense those issues, I stay away because they normally prevail later on. There's no issue between me and you, Vlad. When I see you, I'm not going to do anything to you. Not because I'm pussy or I think you pussy. There's just nothing to be done. Your morality speaks and shines in your actions. And for me, I stay far away from niggas like you. Niggas like you who do things or have done things just for clickbait, as you also admitted to in this interview. Vlad, we are not the same. I have never done anything for a click in my entire life. I have never done anything to monetize. Like, not in my real life actions in life. Like, that's just not who I am, and I choose not to associate with niggas who move like that. And unfortunately, Vlad, in watching your work throughout the years, your principles are still kind of the same to me. So I stay away.
And that is about as cut and dried as it is. You are not going to get it any other way and more clear breakdown of what Djvlad is. For anyone that goes over there, that's what it is. He's admitted in his interview that he does these things for hits and views. He has no moral principle, no standards. And these people know him personally and are saying these things about him. So there's very much truth in his characteristics of what he's doing. So Team Vlad, who decided it was going to be a great idea to go up against me or try to sabotage me, and have been doing it for the past week, congratulations. Because you have been doing your job. All the stuff they're paying you to do, you've been able to pull it off on YouTube. But what you couldn't pull off is to get me to stop talking. That didn't happen. That's still in effect. So like I said, you keep telling lies and you keep doing all of this, I don't know what's going on, and plain ignorant, and doing all of these things behind the scenes, and we'll keep throwing it all out so that the public can see firsthand the person you already are. We're just putting a mirror right in front of your face. That's all. So, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening to the channel, everybody that supported the channel. Love, peace, and hair grease. We out.